welcome to a Trucker's Mind podcast. I'm Eddie McGee.
It's your boy K Things.
We're back, man. Episode 254.
254.
All right, let's get right into it. That's what you guys are here for, right? All right, let's do it. A woman went on 6 dates a week to save money on groceries. This is probably one of the most bizarre stories I've seen in quite some time. Let's get into it. Woman went on 6 dates a week to save on food. I didn't buy groceries for 2 years. That is fucking wild. One woman may have just come up with the ultimate budgeting hack. Or is it? Vivian 2, known on TikTok by the handle, I'm not going to give her that information. She doesn't deserve it. Went viral on the video sharing platform with a clip of herself claiming she went on 6 dates a week so she wouldn't have to pay for groceries, reports in the New York Post. Between 2016 and 2018, I didn't buy groceries once. Probably saved about $150 a week, she captioned in the clip. Now, in the interview with Elite Daily, 2 has admitted to her 2.3 million followers that the video was made jokingly and she didn't start going on dates just for food. Oh, now you're going to cover it up. Okay. But she did notice her financial needs eased a bit when she was looking for love. Okay. All right. 2 told the outlet she was using dating apps to find connection when she moved to New York City, but realized quickly that, I can go on Fun Tapas restaurant for probably free, or I can spend my own money on food at the grocery store that I still need to cook, and it's probably not going to taste as good. There's obviously subconscious thinking that goes into it, she admitted. But added, in my opinion, deliberately going on dates for a free meal isn't a great idea. I am very much in the camp that you're dating to find love. Yeah, I don't believe her. I think she's full of shit. And I think that she said this jokingly, but I think she meant it at the same time. And I think that it's also true that this is not all on women and it's not all on her. I think as men have to be smarter than this. Mm-hmm. If you're going on any type of date or spending time with a woman, this is going to sound very blunt and straightforward, but this is how you determine whether you need to go on dates or not. If that woman does not have some form of sexual attractiveness to you that is shown through action. When women like you, they give you choosing signals, like they tap you on the arm and they touch on you, or they grab your arm, like, you know,
head, something like that.
Well, head, that comes later. That's definitely a love language.
Head is a love language. Head is the best love language.
All right, so they tap you, they grab on you, and they try to get closer to you, and things of that nature. And they tend to want to set up dates, things of that nature. When women like you, mm-hmm. they're very intentional. If a woman's not like that, don't take her anywhere, dude.
Yeah.
For some reason, men think that they could make a woman that doesn't like them. And the problem with women is they will accept free shit from men, even if they don't like these men. Mm-hmm. If a dude is like, hey, baby, I just want to give you $300 because you're so beautiful, they'd be like, oh, my God, thank you.
Yeah.
Like, women will take shit from a stranger. Like, they will openly use a dude and just think that it is cute. But that's not really their fault. It's mm-hmm. wrong what they're doing, but it's ignorant on the man's fault because he think he could buy her. Mm-hmm. And it's like, bro, all she going to do is take your money and not give you no pussy and run off into the sunset.
Yeah.
And be gone.
Mm-hmm.
I seen this dude. I forgot what the podcast is called. He said, honestly, he's like, he said, who should pay for a date, man or a woman? Or no, who should pay for first dates, men or women or whatever? And all the women said, men, of course, they're paying for our time. And he was like, honestly, I don't want to pay for a woman that's fucking someone else. And I thought about that. I was like, ouch. But it's true. Most times we go on dates with people for the first time, whether it's men, women, whoever, they're all fucking somebody. But more times than not, a man is paying for the bill every motherfucking time. Mm-hmm. So he said, this is what he said, and it was hilarious. He said, I don't want to pay for a woman, right? Pay for her, go on a date, and then she gives me, the butt out hug, and, she takes her doggy bag home to the guy she's fucking. Mm-hmm. And he's eating the food that I paid for, and he's fucking her. Mm-hmm. And I was like, ouch.
Yeah.
There's some truth to it,
Yeah.
But yeah, man, as men, you have to stop assuming that you can make women like you just because you are taking them on dates. That's not how it works.
I'd be curious to know, like, what are these like different people? Like, I wonder how many in that 6 day span, like how many different guys are. Is it the same guy? Because What I'm wondering is if it's like the one guy that's continually paying for dates, but also not reaping the benefits of that investment.
Right.
That investment in Chili's or BJ's or PF Chang's or wherever he taking her. But yeah, I don't know, man. I think it's low key a red flag if a woman never offers to pay. Because it's a lot of like traditional stuff out there that we, men opening the door and, men, if something needs to be handled outside at night, the man is going to go check. All this stuff is like traditional. But I think that because of situations like this where there are, women that are just like taking advantage of men in this case. Yeah. I think that a woman that will reach for her card, even if she doesn't end up paying and you just like, no, I got it or whatever the case. Yeah. But just a woman not necessarily assuming that the guy is going to pay. I think a first date is different because, that's just kind of like, I'm sure you've probably 95% and 97, 98% of the time paid for the first date. Right. But if we constantly like going out and hanging out in some capacity and the girl is like never paying for nothing, I think to me that's just like, and not necessarily not paying, but not even like offering to pay, I think that's a red flag to me.
Yeah, there was a chick that I was messing with for a little bit and she definitely made more money than I did just because her position, her occupation paid a lot more. Right? Yeah. So the thing that's crazy is, like 3 dates, I paid each time. I wasn't tripping. But I was just like, yeah, I know this chick makes more than me. She hasn't offered to pay. But she did give me some pussy, though, so that's where it paid off.
Yeah, that love language.
Yeah, sure did. I wasn't just going on them dates for nothing. Huh? You thought I was giving you PF change for nothing? You can get some of this PF Wang.
PF Wang? That's crazy.
Took her to PF change and got some of this PF Wang. Was it stir fried dick? No, dude. I think that if a woman was able to go on a date with a guy over and over and over and over and over again, and he never expected anything from her, I'm talking about nothing. There has to be an expectation from both. Not saying that they owe you anything, man or woman owe each other anything, but it's like if I take you on 20 dates and you don't even give me a kiss, you ain't giving up no pussy, you ain't giving up nothing, I guarantee you the woman that is going on those dates, she does not respect that man. Mm-hmm. Women go on dates for intention. Women want connection. They want sex. They want affection. They do not go out with men that they don't want to kiss and that they don't want to fuck. Mm-hmm. Just period. Usually by the second, no more than the second or third date, people are already fucking by today's standards. And people can say, no, that's not true. It's at least a 6-date minimum. Shut your motherfucking ass up. Most people, I will say this, most people after that second date, the third date, they're fucking.
Yeah.
Because women know what they want. Women know they want to fuck you within the first, I'm talking about the first 50 seconds of meeting you. They know they want to fuck you.
Yeah.
Period. Mm-hmm. They know it. They know it within the first 50 seconds. They're not on the fence like, man, give me 2 weeks. I might want to fuck you in 2 weeks.
They're on the fence whether they want to go on a date with you. But then once that decision is made, it's like, you could tell pretty. Because a lot of women have like, we have like what they call like idiosyncrasies. Mm-hmm. I can't say the word. But, just certain things that will turn us on or off about, people that we're potentially dating. So, like even for guys, like sometimes like for me, like it might be like a weird body shape or something like that. I'd be like, I'm just not really feeling this. Or whatever the case may be. But for women, it could be like the way your breath smell or, if your teeth is yellow or something like that. Women may be like, I'm good. I'm gonna go through this whole date. But at the end of the night, I'm going to hug him and I'm going to go home.
I think that men are a lot less critical of like women's physical features than women are.
For sure, yeah.
Because men, like, we'll get to the point where we'll have sex with a girl we're not even attracted to.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier.
Yeah, it'd be like, she'll be shaped like roast beef. We'd be in there hitting it from the back.
Yeah, I've definitely had sex with roast beef before. I've had sex with roast beef, meatloaf,
a pot roast,
pastrami, some soup. Some dumplings.
Some chicken dumpling pussy is wild, yo. Oh man, it's crazy. But yeah, I think that women will not have sex with a man that they're not attracted to. Like,
Yeah.
I can't never hear a woman saying like, man, I just need anything right now because I just need some dick. I cannot see women doing that. Women always have to be sexually attracted. Men could literally have sex with the chick that they're like not attracted to.
Not at all. Yeah. I will say yes, but no, because sometimes it's physically difficult
Yeah.
to like have that, you know, that sexual.
Yeah.
Like you just won't get up, basically.
Yeah, that's true. You won't. You won't. And I've heard some dudes swear up and down like, man, I don't fuck with no big girls, bro. I can't do big girls or whatever. Bro, I'm going to keep it a buck. I'm not saying that I'm pro or anti big women, but I've messed with some big women before and they be sexy too.
Yeah.
It's some girls that really know how to put it together.
I done smacked a couple Lizzos.
This nigga crazy. Not the Lizzo. Oh my
Couple
god. Oh my god. What's that song by Lizzo? I'm trying to think.
I don't know.
Oh, I forgot how the song, man. I was mad. I was about to say something right now that would have made the joke even more hilarious. Lizzo's an amazing fucking artist.
Yeah, she makes good music.
I think we get a lot of people get too caught up in like physically how she looks and what she does, but Lizzo is an amazing artist.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, I think that was low key bigging her up though. Like that's kind of bigging her up. Like I done smacked a couple.
I done smacked a couple.
I done smacked a couple Rachel Rays. Oh man,
That's hilarious.
you know who was a big girl, but I've always had like she not really big though. She kind of is, but I've always been like low key had a thing for her. I don't know why, and she don't even like women. I mean like men.
Who's
It's
that?
Queen Latifah.
Oh yeah, you did. You always mention Queen Latifah.
Yeah, Queen Latifah. I've always been like I've had like a thing for Queen Latifah. I don't know what it is. She's just like she's put together very well.
Yeah, she had a good, like she kind of a warm person.
Yeah, she got a good soul. Yo, I think the nigga August Alsina was trying to hit on her one day.
Really?
Yeah,
Like on her talk show or something?
Nah, just like it was like she was doing some interview and he walked up.
Well, they both don't like the sex that he was flirting with.
I don't know. I think Queen Latifah has put some men back in her day.
Yeah.
Yeah, before she set it off, she definitely has some.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like the conscious rappers. I feel like a couple conscious rappers knocked her down.
that nigga comment hit it from the back. It's like, yeah, soul pussy from the back.
Pussy
My
from
black queen throwing it back on me. Nigga made a poem out of it. My black queen throwing it back on me.
What I loved about her is she had some good pussy, and I don't know why, but it just took me.
My Nubian princess had big breasts.
That is crazy.
Yo, the 90s had probably the most like dopest conscious rappers. They had Common, motherfucking Tribe Called Quest, Black Thought.
Yeah.
God, it was more too. You know who was like one of the top 100 hip hop songs of all time too is 93 to Infinity, Sons of Mischief. That I don't know why that song is like I don't know what it is about the production or just how that song is.
Yeah. Sometimes it just come together. Like just you get the right sample, the right drums.
Yeah.
Just a timeless beat.
Yeah, I know J. Cole remade that.
Yeah, he rapped over it a couple times.
Yeah, I was like, dang. Yeah.
That's fire.
That's dope, man. I don't know what
They have I think Billboard has this top 100 rappers list of all time that is making its rounds.
Really?
Yeah, but they're releasing it in sections, which is kind of weird. I think they're like in the 20s right now.
Oh wow.
Or it might be top 50.
I know this much. If I had a top 100, it's just certain songs I would add, and one of them would be the Sons of Mischief, and another one would be Regulate by Warren G and A Dog.
Yeah.
And it would take me a while, but I would have to come up with
Mount Up.
Yeah. Regulators, mount up. It was a clear black night.
That's just like a cool song.
Warren Z. What?
it's just like a cool song.
Yeah.
Like just the way he came on rapping was just so cool.
Yeah. 16 in the clip and 1 in the hole. Nate Dogg is about to make some bodies turn cold. I could even see Nate Dogg like angry. He just seemed like he was always neutral.
Yeah.
Like, you about to make me mad. I'm about to get my gun. You better run around 'cause I'm about to shoot you. Oh.
That is crazy.
Did this nigga just threaten me in a song?
That is crazy.
Yeah. Imagine if he had like Nate Dogg would have like beef with another rapper and he'd just be singing through his beef. He's like, that nigga Lil Wayne trying to disrespect. I don't even care. About to check this bitch.
That's crazy.
Like, yo, that nigga, he just threatened Lil Wayne, man.
That song.
I will murder you. You. Yo, we gotta have that, yo. If Nate Dogg was alive, who would he be in a battle with?
Would he be battling with?
Damn. What is there any artist?
Like having real beef, or you mean like a
Like having like a versus?
a versus?
Oh, I got one.
Who's that?
The only dude that Nate Dogg, the only dude that Nate Dogg could battle or in a versus would be T-Pain.
Ooh,
I'm talking
that might be good.
I'm talking about prime time T-Pain,
Might be good.
auto-tone T-Pain against fucking Nate Dogg.
That would be good.
That would be crazy. That'd be crazy.
Yeah.
Ooh, that'd be close too, because let's be clear, T-Pain has some slappers.
I would say T-Pain had a more successful independent, like solo career.
Oh yeah.
But Nate Dogg did.
Yeah.
I got hoes. Like he did that, 21
hoes.
Questions. Like what's that song? Eminem.
Snoop Dogg was like, I mean, not Snoop Dogg, Nate Dogg was like, he could say some super
Collapse by Eminem.
he could say some super misogynistic stuff, but he was so cool, it would just float right by you. I got hoes. I got hoes.
It's just so melodic.
I'm about to slap a bitch. Oh.
I'ma grab her by the pussy. Yeah.
I'm about to Donald Trump this bitch. Oh man.
Yeah. Shout out to Nate. Rest in peace, Nate Dogg.
Yeah, R.I.P. Nate Dogg, man. My whole childhood was like a big chunk of it was Nate Dogg, man.
Yeah.
I don't even know how we got this far, man. All I'll say is, man, let's go back to the main topic of the girl going on dates. Fellas, just be smarter about who you invest your time with these women, because I think as men in this generation, men invest too much time giving women attention, and women have a false sense of value because of it. They go out into the world and think that everybody adores them because of all the fucking attention they get on social media. It's just unneeded validation, and it's not all women's fault. A lot of it is men's fault, because men just like everything and comment on everything and blow up their egos. And these women have so many options of suckers, because the suckers think they're being nice and saying stuff and taking them on dates. Women don't even like men like that. They like you for validation and for attention, but I guarantee you they're not sleeping with any of those guys.
Yeah.
They're not sleeping with the guy that's willing to pay them $300 for no reason. You know, they're fucking a dude they're actually sexually attracted to. And maybe we could learn a little bit more from women that way. How about you spend time with a woman who actually wants to fuck you? How about that?
Or a girl that you just like.
Or a girl you just like. You know what? That's another one. A woman that you genuinely like, that you want to spend time on. Like, that's why I don't believe in strip clubs. I don't believe in going to a strip club and paying a woman a bunch of money to get naked. Like, I'm not doing that. I work hard for my money, so I'm not trying to go to a place, spend money for a chick to get naked on me. The only time I want a chick naked is when she's jumping up and down on my penis. Besides that, I don't want a woman around for that. That is ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's clearly absurd to me.
I'm a strip club fan, but
I'm not. I've only had fun at a strip club one time, but it's because I went with a couple chicks. Besides that, I really, no, no thanks. No thanks, Tom Hanks. All right, switching gears. Rapper Young Thug. He was handed a Percocet in a courtroom. And yeah, you don't want to do that, especially if you're Young Thug and you're on trial trying to save your own life. Rapper Young Thug handed a Percocet in the courtroom drug deal caught on video. Grammy winner, rapper Young Thug, and racketeering co-defendant conducted a hand-to-hand drug transaction during a court hearing, prosecutors said in the motion filed in Atlanta. Fulton County prosecutors say the alleged exchange was captured on courtroom surveillance video Wednesday. The rapper, whose real name is Jeffrey Lamar Williams, and Khalif Adams are charged with conspiracy to violate the Racketeer Influence and Corrupt Organizations Act and participation in criminal street gang activity, among other charges. According to the motion seeking clarification of the record, Adams stood up in his chair and walked unattended to Young Thug and gave him a Percocet. The motion said Young Thug tried to conceal his hand under the table. Sheriff's deputies took the painkiller and searched Adams, who resisted. He was taken in Grady Memorial Hospital after he appeared to ingest other items of contraband that he held on his person. In an effort to conceal the extent of his crimes within the courtroom, during the search of Adams, the deputies found Percocet, marijuana, tobacco, and other contraband wrapped in plastic and food seasonings. Wow.
Oh, they're doing a lot.
To mask the odor of the marijuana.
Oh, yeah. I heard that was like a thing.
Okay, look here, man. Here's the thing. And I think a lot of I don't think we have a whole bunch of young people that listen to this podcast, but a lot of you guys have kids that are younger, 17, 18, 15, whatever, right? Mm-hmm. Make sure you tell your kids to never fucking do drugs. Mm-hmm. Like, there's never been a cool time to do drugs, but this is the worst time. Most of all because a lot of this shit is laced with fentanyl and it's fucking killing people.
Yeah, so it's lethal.
Secondly, this guy is in court with the like trying to battle for his freedom, and drugs has such a grip on him that he's trying to do drugs in the courtroom. Mm-hmm. Think about how fucking strung out on drugs you have to be to try to take a Percocet in the middle of a fucking courthouse. Mm-hmm. You gotta be not only a stupid motherfucker, but you gotta be like, I think that guy is probably about 2 days away from giving a blowjob to get some Percocet.
Dang.
Because if you're that stupid to be in court and try to do drugs, what else are you willing to do? That shit's got a hold on him.
Yeah.
And I think that, you know what I think it is too? I think his body is so used to doing Percocets and alcohol and shit so much. He's so heavily medicated that you can die if you don't get that shit, right? Mm-hmm. Like your body, like they call it like the shakes. Like you will start going through withdrawals.
Yeah.
If you don't have these Percocets in. So yeah, he's literally taking Percocets so he's not what they call it dope sick. Mm-hmm. That's terrible, man.
That happens like if you haven't, like if you're alcoholic and you haven't drank in a minute, like you start shaking, or like you seen in the movie Ray, he was like, when he was coming down off of it.
They said that John F. Kennedy was like that when he was cheating,
like without not having sex,
like not cheating on his wife would make him sick. Mm-hmm. No, or did they say he got sick every time he did it, or he didn't?
So I know what you're talking about. I don't know the specifics. I think it was something, but it was like an addiction.
He got sick. They said Martin Luther King was like that too. Mm-hmm. It's like, I need some head. Ooh.
I need some white woman.
I need some unseasoned pussy.
That way. If Martin Luther King only wanted us to be desegregated just so he could hang out with white women, that might have been his hidden agenda.
Yeah, that'd be terrible. Mm-hmm. God, Martin. Rest in peace, man. We have a lot of respect for Martin. We just kind of toss in these little jokes, historical jokes. Yeah. Because for those that don't know, Martin Luther King's girl, he had a legitimate white girlfriend, and he wanted to go public, but she kept telling him like, "Hey, we cannot do that. We cannot go public." Yeah. Yeah. And he was like, "But I love you. We gotta do something." He was like, "We can't do this, Martin."
Yeah, I be wishing like, all the ideas that I have in my head were easier to create. Mm. So, it would be an amazing, like, I would do like an episode of Atlanta or something like that. If Martin Luther King had a white woman instead of
Coretta Scott.
Instead of Coretta Scott, it was like Marianne Scott or whatever. What the narrative would be, what the would he be as widely accepted as this huge civil rights leader.
I don't think so at all. I think he'd be less accepted by black and white people.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
I think
that would be a whole other battle he's fighting.
Yeah, they'd be like, get that. It'd be bad. I'm not even gonna say it, but yeah, go back to what you were saying. Fuck what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I don't know. Shout out to Martin Luther King.
You talking about Young Thug, man?
Oh, I don't remember what I was saying. Martin Luther King threw me off.
Oh man, I fucked you up. You're talking about withdrawals. That's what we were talking about.
Oh yeah, just the idea that it's like you were saying the withdrawals is like detrimental. Like like in the movie Ray, I was saying like there's a scene where he's like trying to get off of. I think he was doing heroin.
Yeah,
he was trying to get off of
shooting
it, and yeah, he was just like
I need
throwing
it, baby.
up and stuff.
I need it, baby. Oh, come on, where's that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So and I've seen people primarily alcoholics, and cocaine too, like in different drugs, just different people in my family and whatnot. Like when people are coming down, like it's like they need it to be okay in a sense.
People go through sugar withdrawals too. Mm-hmm. Some people that are changing their diet and they used to eating like shit, they'll be like, I need something sweet. You'd be like, no, you don't. Your body's telling you that you do, but you're just addicted to sugar.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll be going in the food aisle or something like that, and I'll be like, and this is what you got to do. This is how you know sugar is addictive, just as addictive as drugs. You go down the aisle, and then by the time you get to the register, you be like, why is there a packet of donuts and like 2-3 boxes of cereal in here? And I go right back around and take all that shit out of my cart.
Yeah, or they have the little Snickers by the checkout.
So they know what they're doing.
You throw one of those in there. Yeah.
Yeah, they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. And usually it'd be some exclusive snacks right there by the checkout. You'd be like, ooh, I might want to try that.
Yeah.
Ooh, Reese's Pieces Flakes? What the fuck is that?
Yeah.
Y'all making Reese's cereal now? You really trying to give people diabetes now, you motherfuckers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Little kids, and it's always little kids get to them, Mommy, I want this. Mm-hmm. I seen this one lady tell her kid, like, put that back. We ain't got no money for that. Put that back. And I'm thinking, like, I don't like when parents do that, though, because here's the translation. We ain't got no money for that. No, you don't. You the one that's broke. You yelling at your kid telling them we ain't got money for that, like they did something wrong for asking for a fucking kid, like a snack. But
yeah,
they're a kid, so that's what they're going to do.
That is one of the things, like there's some, like we talked about reparenting a long time ago.
Right.
A lot of that stuff is like devastating for a kid.
Is.
Like that stuff carries with them into adulthood, and they start to believe that they can't afford anything. They could have a 6-figure salary, but they hold on to all of their money because their parents kept telling them, we can't afford this, we can't afford this, we can't afford this.
I think you mentioned the reparenting. I think that it's important to not do that to kids too. It's not to put out the illusion that we could afford everything, because we can't. But at the same time, when you say we can't afford anything, we can't afford this, we can't afford that, put that back, or we don't got money for that right now, you're literally forcing children into adult themes. Like you're making little kids worry about adult problems. And one time this dude says something, I've seen it on TikTok, and there's this buff dude too, and he's talking about his daughter, and he went through some financial times, like the bad times financially. I think he had lost his job or something. And then he said his daughter came up to him, and she was like, "Here, Daddy, here's some money so it can help pay the bills." And she like handed him like $4. He was like, "No, baby, you keep that." He's like, "You're good. We're fine. We're fine." And when she walked off, he said he was crying.
God dang, that's sad.
Yeah, because kids hear everything, man. They hear everything. They absorb everything. I just don't know who was complaining about bills. Maybe him and his wife or whatever.
Yeah.
But that's why you got to make sure you get a good partner, man. Because if you got a lady and things start getting bad and y'all got kids, y'all need to like keep them the fuck out of all of that. It's not like you need to lie to them, but you guys need to resolve that amongst each other. Don't be like, look, we not eating pastrami tonight. We don't got money for that. Or we not going out there to eat. We ain't got money for that. You could be like, oh, instead of going out to eat there, we're just trying to eat a little healthier. We're going to eat inside tonight. Yeah, man. It's tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's I think that's important what you're saying. I think with that is in terms of the, not having the money to pay for a snack or something. I think that it's just important to like really be mindful of the way we articulate that, because if you do keep saying that, we can't afford that, put that back, or we ain't got enough money for that, put that back. Like a lot of times, one, that's a lie, because
Yeah.
you know, a lot of times we be having food stamps and stuff like that, and it's just you just don't want to get it for your kid because you know it's just too much sugar. I think the aunt
Yeah.
like really getting to the root of why you're not buying it is better than just saying you don't have enough money. You know, what I
Yeah.
mean? Or just say like, hey, well. Right now, we are saving money or we're saving blah, blah, blah. So we're not going to get that. But, you know, if you be good for the rest of the week, we could get that next time. Or I'm not getting that for you, you know, and stop like pouring this narrative on your kids that is like, you know, just detrimental to the way they view finances.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to do that. Yeah. No, I dig that, man. Yeah. We kind of got off the main topic there for a second, which is Young Thug. But I mean, how much can you say?
Yeah.
You know, motherfucker, don't do drugs. You know, you see how much of a grip it has on a, you know, a rap artist or a musician. You know, where he can't even live a drug-free life, and his literal freedom is on the line. You know, you're risking even more freedom by bringing drugs and contraband into the fucking courthouse.
Yeah, for somebody like you said, fighting for their freedom, that's just not a good look. And he tried to make it sound like he didn't know what was going on, but I've never, in my 30 years of living, no one has ever randomly came up to me and slipped me some drugs that I just didn't know was like, you know, first of all, no one slipped me any drugs, but
No.
it definitely hasn't happened just randomly. Like,
I could imagine, like, if he like trying to make a song while they like busting, like, Your Honor, Your Honor, I'm turning it, been in the violence, sending him a penalty. I did in the pocket, the second, and funny, and fucking. Your Honor be like, order in the court. That was fire. That was fucking fire. He in the gavel. That was fucking fire. I'm gonna reduce your sentence.
that judge I was reading the lyrics was comedy.
Yeah, get Metro in here right now. Get Metro in there right now. No, wait a minute, Your Honor. You can't be having him coming in. Your Metro's that's my guy right there. We can't have him coming in right now. Future probably be really like the way I'll be sending him like little voice messages with like fake Future, like what Future might say. Like honestly, like I ain't got no issue with Russell Wilson. Like Russell Wilson a cool dude. Like he still be letting me smash my baby mama and all that. Like he a real cool dude, you know. He can't throw a football no more, but like he really be getting down. Like he really be doing what he do.
That's wild. Still be letting him smash his baby moms.
I'll be bad for you early in the morning and the night. You already know what time it is. I don't know what he's smoking, but he be smoking like big blunts or something. I don't know why his voice is like
You
that.
get that like that low like that.
Yeah, just real low like that. Bro, Future's 39. He did a live show. And he was just exhausted.
Really?
Yeah, he just like got to the point where he just had the mic to his side, just walking around.
Nah, you got tired.
That nigga just like that nigga's like, yeah. Like he was just doing the ad libs. This nigga wasn't even doing the music no more.
That was crazy. Nah. Yeah, that's that. I think I don't know. I've always been in relatively good shape, but I've definitely seen a lot of people get like tired on stage. I'd be like,
yeah,
dang, dog. Like, but it'd be like the guys that you know like that just is just chunky. Like you just know they not doing no physical activity. Yeah. Especially when you're an artist. When you're an artist and you start getting money, you start eating good. You in the studio all day long. You're not really walking around like you might have done before you got a deal.
Yeah,
and that they just be eating chips and freaking.
Rick Ross cleaned his diet up pretty good, so he's a lot smaller than what he was. His interviews be having me dying because they all kind of be the same.
You seen the thing he said about the Tesla?
Yeah, I know. I posted it.
Yeah,
he's like, honestly, I don't really see myself getting a Tesla because what if one day it go off the grid and it's like. Bzz, bzz, bzz.
The sound effects was comedy.
He's like, Ricky, we need you to come in for questioning. Rose, and then all of a sudden the agent come out talking about like we need to talk to you. Yeah. One time, like he always mentions food in some way. He's like, 1 minute I'm like, I ain't even got my wings from the wings. I'm still at Wingstop trying to get some wings.
Yeah. Yeah.
The lemon pepper, I don't know. That'd be crazy.
That nigga
Shout out to
Ross.
Rick, man.
He really be throwing. He do be throwing a wing stop in every conversation.
Yeah, you do.
I feel like there's some people that's like ultimate hustlers, like guys like Diddy, that they not wasting no opportunity to promote their brands.
No.
Yeah, Rick Ross is definitely one of them.
Yeah, the thing with Diddy is he just makes I don't know. The way he presents stuff is kind of like outdated. Mm-hmm. What's up, y'all? Like, I want to introduce all y'all to my new liquor. It's a liquor that I put my heart, my soul in. It's called Rodoche, and y'all gonna love it, man. This is the latest thing. Everybody know what this is. Whatever. I'm like, man, P. Diddy, we didn't heard you do this with so many other.
Doing that for years.
You've been doing this shit for years, nigga. We don't give a fuck about this shit no more.
He got the Daily on. Was it Daily on now?
Yeah, P. Diddy seems like a guy that like I would just stay away from. Not no disrespect, but only because P. Diddy seems like the type of guy that as long as you guys are cool and you kind of like low key kissing his ass, like y'all be cool. But if y'all get on bad terms, like he'll send his henchmen after you. He's like a fucking villain in a real Marvel series.
He got like mafia ties.
Oh yeah, like these guys, they got a lot of money, but like they almost billionaires or around that. They got the money to send somebody after you. So I don't want to get close to those guys. I'm doing a podcast. I say something that goes viral about P. Diddy, and it's making rounds on the internet all over Instagram. And then P. Diddy is like, oh, he live in Bakersfield, huh? Okay.
Nah, I think P. Diddy is more likely to see you himself. Like the stories about Diddy is always about him fighting Drake or J. Cole or fighting the coach at UCLA for his son not playing or something like that.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like Diddy will pull up on you himself.
He'll pull up on me?
Yeah,
I'll beat his motherfucking ass too.
That nigga Diddy.
Where you at, Diddy? Where you at, bro?
Apparently got hands. That nigga be putting hands on everybody.
Where you at, Diddy?
Hands and feet on people.
Yeah, I heard he be putting mouths on people too.
That's crazy.
I'm playing.
He just had a baby. You seen he just had a baby?
He did?
He got a young baby.
P. Diddy be like, nigga, don't make me put my mouth on you, nigga.
That's crazy.
You be like, what'd you say? Is that a threat? Because he done had some shit he done said that's been kind of sus, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, he be like, ooh, yeah, I like that, daddy. Yeah.
Come hang out with me. I want to take you shopping.
I like that, daddy, for real, daddy. You know I like it nasty, daddy. And he'd be like, what the fuck is you talking about?
Yeah. We in here making music.
Yeah.
Saying I like it nasty.
You give him, you like,
that verse is real sloppy.
You be like, what are you talking about, man? Hey, man, get this nigga the fuck out of here, man. You make a mistake, he be like, ooh, that steak juicy. I love it from the back, daddy. You be like, nigga, it's a steak. Hey, man, tell that nigga to get out of here, man. Yeah, I ain't never heard nobody use that lingo that he uses when he says shit like that. He was on Drink Champs. He made it really fucking awkward.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I love that, daddy. I love when you do that, daddy. Real talk, daddy. And everybody was looking around at each other like, what the fuck is going on?
Uncomfortable.
Do you see what the chick he was with for a while, Cassie? Mm-hmm. I guess she got engaged, and her fiance posted, like, I guess talking about P. Diddy, and he posted a LGBT flag. You didn't see that?
Nah, I didn't see that.
Yeah, nigga, it was on Instagram.
Ain't none of my business.
Ain't none of my business. I'm not calling a man that. I'm just saying what had popped up.
Yeah.
Yep. But my thing is this. I'm aware. A lot of this is satire. And the thing about it is, like, me and Keith don't know how big things are gonna be for us. But I'm not tucking my tail. If that nigga told me, hey man, so like, what's up with these clips you got of me talking crazy? I'll be like, yeah, I said it, nigga. I was cracking a joke. I'll tell him to his face, I cracked a joke, man. I'm not out here trying to make you look bad. I don't double down on fucking with people.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna tuck my tail. I'm like, it's content, man. Mm-hmm. Nigga, you make it like you ain't never said nothing about nobody.
Yeah.
These dudes got really sensitive egos too.
Yeah.
If you think that a nigga like me can't get to a person like P. Diddy, I can.
Yeah.
Like the things that I say on here can reach because it's going to be on the internet. Mm-hmm. It's going to be on the YouTube. Somebody could clip this up and they repost it to TikTok and then that goes to Instagram. All of a sudden, it's this black truck driver out of Bakersfield, California. And now P. Diddy is like, yo, where's this nigga at? Where he live, man? Where you at, man? I want to put everything on him, man.
I want to put everything
nigga, no,
on
don't
him.
come out here.
God dang.
I heard about you, man. I don't want you coming out here, bro. Nigga P. Diddy come to my job. I'm finna put these mouse on you, bro. You were like, oh my God. Hey, security, can you take him and put him back in the car, man?
That's crazy.
Can you imagine somebody threatening you in like
sexual way?
In a sexual way.
This dude named Brandon Black, he had dang, I couldn't even repeat what the clip had said, but it was like very aggressive, but like homosexual,
like homoerotic almost.
Yeah, like nigga, come over here before I grab your ass, nigga. Like it was just like it was a clip. It was a clip that he had, and he was just reacting. You know they'd be reacting to the things on Instagram. It was like stuff like that.
Oh man. Imagine you be like, nah, don't turn your back to me, homie. Don't you turn your back on me, I'm finna hit you from the back. That's on everything. Like, what? Like this nigga going, like, what kind of assault is this nigga trying to do? Hey, imagine, oh no, here we go. Imagine P. Diddy say something that's like, almost like, what do you call it? Like ambiguous, like ambiguously gay or whatever. He'd be like, you know what? You turn your back on me. You know what I'm saying? That's because you I know you the type of niggas like you like it from the back. Imagine somebody in the corner like, hey, yo.
You in New York niggas like, yo.
Hey, yo. And we out here in California, so it'll be like a New York nigga come way out here just to say that. Out of nowhere.
Nigga fly the John F. Kennedy to LAX just to say that.
Nah, it'd be a New York nigga just pop out of one of our dumpsters like, hey, yo.
With some Timbs on.
Like, this nigga came out the trash can, man. Where did he come from? This nigga came away from Brooklyn. Yo, what's going on? Yep. But yeah, there's that, man. Switching gears. Recently, Florida got busted for fake nursing degrees, and this is really serious. It's really serious. More than 7,600 fake nursing diplomas issued in Florida, alleged wire fraud scheme. Thousands of practicing nurses in the U.S. could potentially be working with bogus academic credentials after federal officials uncovered an alleged scheme at 3 South Florida nursing schools. The Department of Justice said Wednesday that the schools now closed allegedly issued more than 7,600 fake and unearned nursing diplomas. Niggas out here stealing diplomas. The schools involved in the alleged scheme include Siena College, Palm Beach School of Nursing, and Sacred Heart International Institute. The Justice Department has charged more than 24 people for the alleged involvement, saying that engaged in a scheme to sell fraudulent nursing degree diplomas and scripts obtained from accredited Florida-based nursing schools. Each of those defendants now faces up to 20 years in prison. According to the charging documents, many of those involved in alleged scheme are from out of state, including people from New York and New Jersey. The nurses with the fake degrees went out on to work in various settings, including from homebound children, assisted living facilities, and veteran affairs. In several states, documents showing including Ohio, New York, New Jersey, Massachusetts, Georgia, Maryland, and Texas. Okay, this is fucked up. This is fucked up on a higher level, too. Because we're getting fake nursing degrees. Why is Florida always at the forefront of bullshit?
Yeah.
There's always something weird going on in Florida.
Yeah, it's always something.
It's like an alligator eating somebody's kid one day, and then the next day a human biting somebody trying to eat their face because he was on bath salts.
Yeah.
And then the next day, motherfucker walks into Walmart and takes a shit in the middle of the store and then smears it on people. Like, Florida got the weirdest headlines ever, bro. It's like, and what's crazy about Miami or Florida in general, just the state, is this actually a decent state, you know, like Miami, besides their weather is kind of fucked up.
I don't know nothing about Florida outside of no taxes.
Yeah, that and old people retire there. It's a bunch of old people on the beach drying the fuck up.
They're trying to save all that tax money, bro.
Yeah. A lot of Latinos there too. A lot of Latinos and Haitians, I think. Like, it's like a melting pot. Like, I think it's Puerto Ricans, Haitians, and Dominicans, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's like I don't know. It's almost like its own. Well, hold on. I'm trying to think. What's next to It's not Puerto Rico. It's freaking Dominican Republic, I think, isn't it?
I think those are all off the I'm not.
It's like only like 30 miles away from Florida. I'm trying to think of what it is. It's
on like an island out there off the coast of
Is it
Florida.
Cuba?
Maybe Cuba.
I think it's Cuba, dog.
Mm-hmm.
I'm about to go ahead and say, how far is Cuba from Florida? It can't be that far.
Geography lesson with the Trucker's Mind podcast.
Yeah, man. Look, I'm a truck driver, but I mean, when it comes to going to different countries and shit, that's where you got me.
Yeah.
How far is Cuba from Florida? 485 miles. That shit close as a motherfucker. That shit is close, dude.
Yeah.
They be on the boat going from... There was a time in the 90s where if you went on American soil, then you were considered an American citizen. I think it was under the first Bush administration, I think.
Okay.
Don't quote me on that, but it had to be, I think it was either Nixon or... No, it wasn't Nixon.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Nixon or... They stopped it, though. Let me see. I'm just going to put Cuba.
Puerto Rico.
Cuba reaching
right
American soil.
Puerto Rico is further down.
Here it is. In August of 1995, the Clinton administration's wet foot, dry foot policy responded to Fidel Castro's declaration that no Cuban would be confined from leaving the island by boat. The legislation enabled Cubans who successfully reached U.S. soil to apply for legal status. So they could, once they got on American soil, they could be like, "Hey, I'm here, Papa. I'm here."
What's that country Charlemagne be going to?
Oh, Anguilla?
Anguilla? Yeah. Where's Anguilla at?
That shit is somewhere in Africa.
Anguilla's in Africa?
I think.
I don't think it's in Africa.
Anguilla. It is British overseas territories. Saint Martin. So it's near Saint Martin. That is in East Caribbean. East Caribbean dollar, North America.
Yes.
It's the Caribbean.
Yeah, I see it.
Mm-hmm.
Anguilla. That's kind of by Barbados and all that. Grenada. Yeah. Trinidad and Tobago.
That nigga love talking about going to Anguilla.
That's why must be a lot of black people over there.
Yeah, he'd be like, you know, I was over with my man Sparky over, and we was in Anguilla.
Mm-hmm.
And like sometimes,
in Anguilla.
Yeah, sometimes I think Schultz be like, "Motherfucker, you need to just live there."
Yeah. Yeah. He the type of person that might retire there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, man.
I was the thing with the fake degrees is that, you know, it's cool. It's not cool. I think, you know, just
no, it's
not like lying to get the job. But the what I was trying to say is that it's dangerous because when you're a nurse, your people's lives is in your hands in terms of, you know, doing CPR and, you know, just knowing the proper medication to give people and, you know, how to do certain procedures the right way. And that is stuff that people learn by getting certified or getting, you know, nursing degrees and stuff like that. So that's the dangerous part of it. Also, like most jobs that require like some sort of degree or something like that, it's for a reason, right? So I went to architecture school back in the day, and the reason why you need a degree in architecture is because the very house that you're listening from, or whatever the case may be, if this thing falls apart, then you know we're going to lose our lives. Like, you know, people's lives are in our hands. When you miscalculate something, or you don't measure something properly, or if you are designing this building and the floor is supposed to be 14 inches and you measured it to be like 12 inches, that's a big deal, and that's like, you know, somebody's life. This building has been up since like a long time. Early 1900s. Yeah. So, you know, that's just good engineering, good architecture, right?
Good floor plan.
But if you just give somebody a degree and they just sketch something on a freaking college ruled paper.
2 months later, you stand in the fucking Leaning Tower of Pisa.
Exactly. Yeah.
Why is my house slanted? You on Google and shit? Yeah. Is it normal for your house to be slanted?
Yeah. The YouTube university degrees, it just don't work.
Fix your slanted house.
Yeah. So I mean, just like in terms of, though, like nurses, doctors, architects, engineers, just stuff like that. You just want to make sure, even in trades, you want to make sure people got the proper licenses and stuff like that, and pass the proper tests in order to drive trucks and in order to operate forklifts and all these different things.
I know motherfuckers with a CDL that still can't drive. Imagine not even having one. You don't got a fucking commercial driver's license and they put your stupid ass in a truck, you're going to hurt a bunch of innocent people.
Yeah.
Like, what I feel like is there are certain occupations that you cannot play with. One of them is anything in the medical field for this reason. If you work at McDonald's, right, and you make a batch of fries and you burn them, all you got to do is throw them fries away and make a new batch. But you cannot do that with human lives.
Yeah.
With a human life, you say, oh, just give him 20 cc's of this. That'll work. And then you give him the wrong amount and this nigga's dead.
Yeah. And
he's dead because that's what you call that malpractice.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no. That's not okay. Yeah. We need people in the medical field who are actually trained to do the job.
Yeah.
And the sad thing is people are trying to infiltrate the medical field because it's a good paying job. But I don't think that's a space that should be infiltrated. That's a space that should be earned through actual work hours and studying. Mm-hmm. Because what's going to happen is if you're a well-studied nurse or doctor, when you're practicing this, you're going to come across a situation that's very, very, very unique. Mm-hmm. And it could only be like your care for that person could only be replicated through the knowledge that you've attained through years and years of studying.
Yeah.
But when you go to motherfucking, you meet somebody on the street corner and they be like, here, sign this, dog. I'm going to get you your degree right now. Here you go.
Yeah.
And you sign that and you get it, you're putting everybody's life in danger.
Yeah.
Now there's probably basic care that like let's say, for example, you're like a freaking CNA or something, right? Mm-hmm. Or you're a CNA and you're studying to be a nurse and you get so much nurse information and you like, you know what? I want to fast track this. Let me get a fake degree. Right? So you got some knowledge as a CNA. You're not even an LVN yet. Usually that's how it works. Usually it's like CNA, LVN, RN. Mm-hmm. But you usually have to be skilled in all of those things. Mm-hmm. And if you just try to fast track it and you don't got no information, man, you're going to end up killing somebody just because you want to make more money.
Yeah.
And sometimes I see truck drivers, man, and I get a little bit frustrated with them because I see some of the things that they're doing is dangerous. The other day on Friday, this dude cut somebody off, and it was so fucking dangerous the way he did it. Mm-hmm. He just jumped out in front of this car, and I blew the horn like, motherfucker, what are you doing? Mm-hmm. And then the lady was next to me on the left lane. She looked up at me, and I just said, I'm sorry. I don't know what this guy's doing. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That's like you playing with people's lives.
Yeah, man.
That doesn't work. There's a lot of stuff that you can just be good at, just by learning from YouTube or just reading a lot of books or something like that. But, when you really got people's lives in your hands, it doesn't. You need that degree. That they're trying to do things now to where they're shifting to where a lot of jobs won't need degrees. But I don't know, man. Like, I think that does work in terms of like there's some computer coders and stuff like that, computer scientists that just know the information, so I understand that, not necessarily requiring a degree, but anything where you playing with people's lives in any capacity, you designing cars and all that stuff, I need somebody with, that's well researched, well developed, that knows what they're doing.
Hell yeah. If you try to get somebody that's like not a very well studied architect and they write a bullshit floor plan, you'd be like, nigga, why I got a door on my roof? What the fuck is going on here?
Yeah.
I used to just write some floor plans back in the day. I used to have an architectural drafting class in high school.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And we were like one of the first ones, at least that I remember, that we had like a computer system. Mm-hmm. Like, cause how you do the physical ones, the physical floor plans that you write up. Mm-hmm. And then we also had the computer one that we went in there and we had to do it through there.
Yeah.
But Yeah, man, I had a really cool teacher. I didn't really take it too serious, but Roger Stillman was a really great guy. I haven't checked on him or anything. I feel so bad because he said, "Hey, man, you get a chance, stop by and see me," and I never did. He was always such a nice guy.
Yeah, I gotta do that too. I know a teacher like that for me was Mr. Coles. Not like
Mr. Coles,
not the dad, but the son.
Yeah. Mr. Coles is a cool guy.
Yeah, his birthday was actually a few days ago.
Really?
Earlier in January.
He was there when I was there.
Yeah. But he would always tell me, like, because not all of my siblings, but most of my siblings had him as a teacher. Okay. Yeah, so he would always say, like, swing by and, say hi and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think for me, sometimes it just be kind of awkward because you just like, I don't know, it's just, I don't know, you just make up all these ideas in your head, like why you haven't gone or whatever. But sometimes teachers just be wanting to see you and just catch up. And see how you're doing.
I think some teachers actually like you, though, like as people.
Yeah.
They're like, this guy's a young person, but they're actually a cool person,
Yeah, for sure.
If you're a fucking asshole, they don't want to have nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
But Mr. Coles kind of looked like Mr. Burke. I don't know if you remember Mr. Burke. Both tall white guys, kind of skinny.
No, I don't know
Coles,
Mr. Burke.
How tall? Mr. Coles, he like 6'3", ain't he?
Yeah, he was tall.
6'3", 6'4". Yeah, so was Mr. Burke. They're both tall. They both look like each other. But I haven't seen Mr. Burke in forever, man. But these are all really cool people. But after I left high school, I never really returned.
Yeah.
I never like to see any of the teachers, but they kind of want to see where you are in life, man.
Yeah, just to see the impact that they may have had on you,
right.
or like maybe swing by and talk to some kids.
And I feel bad too because the fucked up thing about it is this year is my fucking 20th year reunion, right? I graduated in 2003, so I know there's some teachers that are probably really up in age, man. And
they're getting up there.
They may not even be around. Roger Stillman or Mr. Stillman. Back then he had to be in his 60s then, man. So I mean, damn, it's been 20 years, bro. And I feel so bad. Like, I hope he's in really good health if I seen him again. But I mean, that's how it goes, bro. He may not be around. I have to talk to somebody and see if they know where he's at. But he's a very well known. He wrote a lot of floor plans for people and shit. A lot of people that I've seen over the years, man.
Yeah. Yep. I remember. I didn't take his class, but I do remember him being up. I think I might have only met him after I graduated high school or something like that.
Yeah,
I never took the class, but yeah.
There's only one person that I know of. To anybody listening who may have went to Bakersfield High School, there's only one person that I know for sure. It's a possibility that he may still be at BHS, and that's Steve.
Oh yeah. Steve. I don't know if he's there still, but I know who you're talking about.
Steve, the security. That guy, we used to call him Scuba Steve or Steve-O, right?
Yeah.
And Steve has been there before my sister went there. My sister's 3 years older than me, so that means my sister graduated in 2000, and that guy was there before my sister was there. So think about that shit. How long and how many students have seen Steve?
Yeah,
I posted
it's 2023.
Yes.
God damn.
Bro, I posted a picture of Steve about 5 years ago, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, and I was like, who remembers this guy? And the picture went viral, nigga.
Really?
Yeah, it went viral. It was a bunch, and it was current, I don't know how it happened, but like current students who were going to BHS at that time, they were like, "Oh fuck yeah, that's Steve. He's still here."
Yeah.
And then it was people older than me. They like people in their 40s like, "Oh man, he chased me down the street."
Yeah.
Or yeah, I had him in. I'm just like, oh my God.
You know what I'd be thinking, like, if you, I don't know his financial state, but if you've been at a job for maybe 30 years, or maybe 30 years potentially. I don't know how long he's been there, but you probably have just worked your way just by proximity or just by working there so many years into a decent salary, Yeah. Like I'm just saying, like, I couldn't imagine somebody staying at a job like that if they not like taking care of him financially.
Yeah.
But you just never really know, but I'm just saying, like, especially working for the district, there's probably some retirement plan or something like that. He probably.
Yeah. One thing I'll say is this. When I look back at Steve in retrospect, it's like we were younger and we was like, man, Steve is a fucking asshole. He's always acting like a cop and this and that. But one thing we could be rest assured of that the parents needed to understand is all of us students were more safe because of Steve.
Yeah, that's real.
Steve made sure that the students like, hey, where are you going? What are you doing? This and that. You know, he wasn't no funny business around Steve. He wasn't playing no shit with no kids.
Yeah, he riding around with on that cart.
Yeah, he wasn't playing no games. And although a lot of us didn't like him, I think that a lot of our parents, you know, one time I told, like, Steve had kind of talked kind of wild to me one day, and I told my dad, and nigga, my dad went back to that school. He was about to kill Steve. He's like, nigga, who is Steve? And my dad came onto the campus. He's like, who the fuck is Steve talking to my son like this? And then the kids, that was some kids on the campus, like, it's him, Steve over there.
They're snitching on him?
Yeah, what the fuck? Oh, my phone. And it's like, it's him right there. And I was like, yeah, that's Steve. And he's like, hey, man, what you saying to my son, man? Because my dad knew I would never lie to him about no shit like that. And he was like, I basically told your son. He's like, motherfucker, don't tell me what you told my son. I know you a lying ass. You look like you on drugs, motherfucker. Like my dad, my pops went off on this guy.
Dang.
And then what ended up happening is my dad walked to the office and they had like a talk about what had happened. And they came to an understanding. But one thing I really will say about my dad, may he rest in peace, is he never let nobody play with me, bro. Like if it was an issue with the school, he would go up to the school and talk to the people and say, hey, man, like, you know, don't be disrespecting my son. He know better than to be talking to y'all like that, but don't be disrespecting my son, bro. So,
yeah,
man.
Yeah, I'm sure it's probably other listeners out there that probably have that history with certain workers at school. Especially like my elementary school, there's been teachers at McKinley that like only recently retired after working, you know, they retire like 60 or some years old. It's just like be career teachers, you know, career staff members at schools. It takes a lot to, you know, work in a school system for that many years.
I know some of these kids be straight assholes.
Oh, for sure.
Miss Jenkins is a bitch. He's like,
yeah,
you in the second grade? How you know say bitch like that?
Yeah.
I don't. What are you talking about? These kids be so bad.
Yeah.
Especially these little motherfuckers got phones now. Oh no.
Nice phones.
I would have a no phone policy. I say, hey, you can't be in my class unless you put your phone into the front of the classroom.
They be in there recording you too.
Yeah, like what you recording me for, motherfucker? You should be taking notes off this board. They literally, what there should literally be in every classroom, they should put a locker in every single classroom with your own personalized lock on it. And you should not be able to start the class until you put that fucking phone in there.
Yeah, that's real.
You know what I'm saying? I don't really see too many occasions where you need to be recording. I don't see it. You know, I don't see it. Yeah, because that's ridiculous. How the fuck you gonna learn and you motherfucker trying to learn, but there's a kid in the back watching Pornhub?
Ha! Yeah, that's possible.
Yeah.
Did you know Josh Shirley is a principal at BHS?
What?
That's what I heard.
No way.
Don't quote me.
My teammate?
That's what I heard.
Josh Shirley? I gotta look this up.
If
If Josh Shirley is a principal, I'm finna pull up on him.
Yeah.
No way. Josh was a fucking dog. That dude was a stud.
Yeah.
He could play he was a really good corner. Really good football player.
Yeah.
No fucking way. There's no way that guy's the principal. I thought he was in like real estate or something.
That's what I thought.
Let's see here.
Let me see. I have to look on the thing, the Bakersfield High School website.
Oh, you checking the website? Let me check it out.
Staff.
Let's see it. Josh Shirley. Josh Shirley. Okay. Director, Bakersfield Affiliate Office. Realty Advisor. I don't know if he's a principal there. It doesn't mean he's not.
Yeah. Let me see. Isolate. Updated staff isolation quarantine protocols. This is resources for staff. Schedule. California. They used to have like the pictures on here. Let me see if let me see it. Staff directory. Let's see if this is.
Josh Shirley could have very well went to the NFL.
Think so?
Fuck yeah. That dude was a really good corner. Really good corner. That dude was definitely he probably was the best player on our team. And that says a lot because we had Blake Mackey, and Blake was a fucking dog. Mm-hmm. He was an NFL wide receiver. It's unfortunate that he didn't go to the next level at NFL. He was an NFL wide receiver, bro. Like, he was a prototype. Blake's about 6'3", 6'4". Mm-hmm. Dude ran about a 4.3. Long, could get open.
Yeah.
Punt returner, kick returner. Really fucking good receiver.
Yeah. Oh, that's freaking.
Josh Shirley, you got some on YouTube.
Attendance, email, teachers, alumni.
Doesn't mean he's not the principal there. It doesn't mean that. It just means he might not have enough coverage up there.
Yeah. We should probably move on because you're be boring the audience.
You're boring the audience. They're like, I don't know who these niggas are. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get to work. I'm trying to get in my cubicle. You guys are ruining my day. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. I don't care about you and Keith's personal life. Let's just stick to the topics. Okay. Yeah, but these Florida nursing degrees, I've said everything I could say about it.
Yeah.
Okay. It's unfortunate. I would just be if you feel like a nurse is not giving you proper care, say, hey, I want to see your credentials. Okay. Who the fuck are you? Is your name really Jason?
This dude's name is Ben Shirley. It's not Josh Shirley.
Oh, I don't know
who's Ben Shirley.
I don't know who the fuck that is.
Is that his dad?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I have no idea who that is.
You know who told me that?
What?
Dijon.
You said, oh.
He was kind of right, but he was not right.
He's getting his white people mixed up. But Josh Shirley is not really white. He's like some type. I think his mom is something. Some people just look racially ambiguous.
Yeah, he does.
He just looks like a brown person.
Yeah.
Josh kind of looked like Aladdin a little bit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Shout out to my old teammate, man. Mm-hmm. All right, switching gears. Colin Kaepernick is making a documentary about Kern County, more specifically Bakersfield, where me and Keith are from. And it's not a good documentary. It's actually talking about the police shootings and whatnot out here in this area. Here we go. All right. Colin Kaepernick's new doc destroys one of Kevin McCarthy's talking points. This is probably a very liberal article. Sometimes you can tell.
Why are they making this political?
I don't know, but because it's just what people do. The problem I have with it, you can tell when something is very liberal or conservative bias.
Yeah.
But we're going to make it through this. Colin Kaepernick's new doc destroys one of Kevin McCarthy's talking points. The former San Francisco 49ers star is about to drop a documentary about police violence and corruption in McCarthy's district. Former San Francisco 49ers quarterback is well-versed in the art of making bold, evocative statements about the realities of inequality in the United States. His latest statement, a new documentary he's executive produced for Hulu, takes an aim at familiar target, state-sanctioned violence, police, and corruption. The project is set in Bakersfield, California, and includes another high-profile foe and new House Speaker Kevin McCarthy. Killing County, as in quote is the name of it, set to debut February 3rd, highlights in the 2013 police of shooting George Ramirez Jr. in Bakersfield, which is part of McCarthy's district. Ramirez was shot and killed by Bakersfield police. The shooting was part of botched police informant operation, but the details remain unclear. The city reported reached settlement with the Ramirez family for $400,000, but no official has been pushed for Ramirez's death. The filmmakers investigate what they say is the raft of police violence, in particular gun violence, that's turned Bakersfield, the surrounding Kern County, in one of the nation's most violent regions over the last decade. Mm-hmm. Okay, I think I know George Ramirez. I could be wrong. There was a guy I used to go to the gym with that got shot by the police, and I think his name was either Jorge or George. There was two cases, but with the guy that I know, I got to look it up. I got to look him up because I don't want to be talking out of my ass. But he was a really cool guy, the one that I knew. He was actually really overweight, and he lost a gang of weight. And I was so proud of him. He probably was like almost 400 pounds, and he got down to like 235.
Damn, that's really good.
He was kicking ass. And then later on, I seen he had some altercation or something on the news with the police. and they ended up shooting him and killing him. I think it was off of Highway 178 or near it. They had shot him, and I don't know if this is the same guy.
It might be a different person because the person that I know of that got shot off of 178, it was over there by I think it was off of Mount Vernon.
Okay.
That exit over there.
Uh-huh.
I think I knew that person, and he wasn't like, he was never that, like never big like that. But it might have been different occasions, or I might be wrong, because I just remember there was a guy around my age that got shot some years back, and I met him in some capacity, maybe like going to like parties or something like that. But there's been a lot of situations. There was another guy, some rapper. He was like a street rapper that I think he stole, an off-duty cop shot him. And this stuff, it just happens, pretty frequently. But I think what I seen from the documentary, it's interesting, one, because Colin Kaepernick created, he like, him and I think Ava DuVernay, I believe, they created that show, the show that he had on Netflix, the narrative show, and it mentioned Bakersfield in there, and there was a distinctive like way that they represented Bakersfield as kind of a place where they looked at Colin Kaepernick as kind of like, the white people looking at Colin Kaepernick a certain kind of way. And it's just interesting that probably stuck in his mind well enough to like want to develop more story about Bakersfield and Kern County. And to me, it's like the reason I was mentioning earlier, like why is it getting political in terms of like bringing Kevin McCarthy in there, in the situation and stuff like that, is because from what I got from the trailer, it's just about law enforcement in Bakersfield and Kern County. So I don't understand like why they were bringing Kevin McCarthy into it.
I don't know. Yeah. It's a political angle. I think that people tend to grab the police on things that seem to be anything more right leaning. They're going to bring the police in. Yeah, because more right leaning people tend to support the police.
Yeah, I guess I understand.
But it still doesn't. It just doesn't really matter to loop that all in. I get it. I get exactly what you mean. I'm looking for it right now. The guy that I feel horrible that I don't remember his name exactly, but I'm looking.
It's what I found is very hard to find older articles. They have like a database on there, but sometimes it's hard to find.
Let's see what his name is. Officer Speed before shooting. Ramiro. Hold on. Already paid vacation. James Villegas. That's what his name was. James had lost. There was two different shootings, but James Villegas was like almost 400 pounds. He lost a bunch of weight, and he was a really cool guy, right? I can't speak for his whole life, but what I can say is when I met him over at, back then it was Body Exchange, and I was going to Body Exchange, working out real hard. He was always really encouraging, really decent dude. And when I seen that he got shot by the police, I was like, what the fuck? How?
Yeah.
You see shit like that, like out of all the people. And James was shot in, let's see here, Rick Wimbish, paid administrator. James Villegas, he was only 22 at that time, in 2014.
Dang. Young.
Yeah, dude. I don't know what the age range between you and him is at that time.
Yeah. Was 18? Yeah. I mean, we might be roughly around the same age.
Yeah, that's fucked up. He's a fucking kid. Really good kid too, man. But yeah, rest in peace to James Villegas. Yeah, so I guess Colin Kaepernick is making the documentary. There's not a whole lot to say at this time, besides this leading California in shooting deaths, and it's not just California; it's deeper than that, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know exactly where we stack up, but it's definitely like that. Because Gavin Newsom came out, and which is ironic that Gavin Newsom would come out and say like, Kern County is the murder capital of California, but not mentioning at all the deaths, by way of, police officers and sheriffs and stuff. But it's so interesting to me is that like the documentaries like this generally like shift the culture a little bit because it sheds light on situations that have been kind of swept under the rug. It's and they're doing it like the conversations that Eddie and I may have, like just being from Bakersfield or just knowing, certain people are being tied to certain situations, or the conversations that we might have sprinkled throughout this podcast.
Right.
It's just all in one place.
Yeah.
Like the same, they talk about it in the trailer. It's like the same people, the Kevin Costner movie with McFarlane and the boys out there that ran and they won the
that dude was a corrupt police officer.
Yeah, fast forward however many years later, he was a corrupt police officer, and he got a slap on the wrist. So these are the type of stories they're bringing to the forefront. And I think above all, like, obviously I'm a fan of Colin Kaepernick being drafted by the 49ers and stuff like that, and led us to a Super Bowl, not a Super Bowl win, but led us to a Super Bowl. I just like his transition, going into this media space, going into this content space, and really bringing some of these stories to the forefront, especially being from California. And shedding light on stories that really resonate with me. So I think that's a dope thing, and I'm curious to see, because it may be stuff in here that I don't really know. Obviously we're from Bakersfield, but there's there may be some stories that I don't know that they may talk about in the documentary.
There's like a Bakersfield news reporter that's on the documentary. Her name is something Harrington, and I don't know if she still does news here, but she's on the documentary. Like, I guess she's doing some talking about it. Yeah, she's smoking hot. Doesn't really help the conversation.
All right, she's beautiful.
All right, yeah, let's move on. But at the end, this is the problem that I have with articles written by people, is they allow their personal emotions and feelings to, dictate how they write about stuff. I think we need to start writing things from a more objective stance. I don't care if you're right or left, but this is what it says too. And I don't like this narrative, but it says, and this is the first time someone has noted the violence in McCarthy's district. In recent years, as McCarthy and fellow Republicans have tried to portray Democrat-led cities as overrun with crime, journalists have pointed out the violence exploding in McCarthy's own backyard. Killing County may be the most vivid reminder yet. And there's some validity to that statement, though, because a lot of right-wing people will say, like, look at how these Democrat-led cities are running, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, bro, that I don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't like that, because it's like you're literally just pigeonholing, like, or generalizing all of these. The blue cities, look at all the blue cities, and you act like all these red cities and blue cities, or whatever you call them, like they don't have their own problems.
Yeah.
Like some of these fucking red cities are fucking sundown towns.
I think Bakersfield is a red city.
Yeah, Bakersfield is a red city. It's a conservative hub. So out of all of California, Bakersfield, California is a conservative hub, and that's mainly more because of our industry out here. We're big oil and ag. So oil and agriculture, and a lot of shit that goes all over this country, like all over it comes from Bakersfield, especially like the vegetables and shit like that.
Yeah, for sure.
It comes from out here in Kern County. So
Kern County, yeah. Arvin, stretch out to Arvin and Shafter and stuff like that.
All of that, man. All of that out there. Wasco, Delano, Shafter, all of that. Yeah. That's all us out here, just in Kern County in general.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think the thing that is like inspiring for me is, like I was saying before, like him transitioning into more of this content space, and his football career is probably over now.
Yeah, it's much.
And, just being able to create like really good content, like, create conversations around the content that he's creating. Yeah. And I think it's cool too, because like the stories that I want to tell about Bakersfield, through cinema and film and stuff like that, is like, it's kind of like opening the gates a little bit in terms of like, oh, like these are the things that are happening in Bakersfield. Like what else is out there? We have like, and I think what it does, this is kind of a more eye-opening thing in terms of like the corruptness. But I think just in general, like I think it gives a space like people may just be more curious about Bakersfield. So me as a film, a screenwriter, filmmaker, director, they may be more interested in the stories that I tell. And then even with our podcast, like people would be like, yo, I wonder, like, you know how it is, like when you watch a really good documentary or something like that, or a really good biopic, you just Google for like 30 minutes after you finish, like, damn, what about this? What about this? And then
the Trucker's Mind podcast comes up.
Trucker's Mind podcast pops up.
You jump from a Kaepernick to Trucker's Mind podcast.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be dope if he was out here for some type of media or something. He's like, I'm looking for a podcast to talk to two guys on. But he'll never do that. He never talks to anybody.
You just never know.
You never know. You never know. We could have used that nigga today in that Niner game. God damn.
Yeah, man.
We had the worst fucking backup in the league. Josh Johnson sucked. Fuck.
Johnson, you.
God.
Man.
That was embarrassing.
That was very disappointing. I would say.
Very disappointing. Brock Purdy that's our guy, man. I love Brock, man. I think out of, and I'm just gonna say it, with Brock Purdy, man, out of all the 49ers I've ever seen in 49er history, I've never seen a player with more guts besides Ronnie Lott and like a Chris Borland.
So what are you like? What are you basing it off? Just like him?
Just the grit and just the amount of tenacity that to overcome. Like think about it. Like Ronnie Lott cut off a piece of his finger to play in the fucking game.
Yeah.
And then you got a guy like Chris Borland, who was not even getting any playing time, and he was decent in college. But when Patrick Willis and Bowman went down, he was asked to do a lot.
He was just as good.
And he was just as good. No. And he was statistically the best linebacker in the league for a few weeks. Mm-hmm. So he stepped in and he was just shutting shit down, man. So when I look at these performances and stuff, I'm like, man, a guy like Chris Borland sticks out to me. Ronnie Lott sticks out to me. And then Brock Purdy. Like, they got to be the toughest Niners I've ever seen. Those three guys.
Yeah.
You know, of course, there's other players that are tough, but I'm talking about just like overcoming the odds of.
Yeah, being the last pick in the draft.
Yeah, you go from being the last trick. And like Brock Purdy was so effective that it literally took Brock Purdy to be injured to not win this game. The only reason why the Eagles won is because Brock Purdy wasn't there. If Brock Purdy was there, we would have easily been going to the Super Bowl. Like, that's just you can't tell me otherwise. You cannot tell me that we would not be going to the Super Bowl against the fucking Chiefs.
And we would have had a shot to beat anybody on the other side of that, whether it was going to be the Bengals or the Chiefs.
We would have smoked the Chiefs, only because they blew us out this year. So when you lose to a team, you get a lot of motherfuckers.
We had a new quarterback back there, though. Yeah.
We didn't have, last time we had Jimmy, sorry ass. Now we got Brock.
Yeah. I think that moving forward, it's going to be tough because Trey Lance is obviously, they bet the house on Trey Lance.
Yeah, I hate that.
But I think this offseason is going to be interesting because everybody is injured, so going back into, the beginning of next season, we just have to see, one, who's going to be healthy by the time the season comes around, and then, just see how the offseason goes. I think if Brock Purdy won the Super Bowl and he finished out the season, he's healthy.
Yeah, he's number one.
It just is a no-brainer. But now that he's injured, it kind of brings the conversation back in. There's probably going to split reps to start, the offseason.
Man.
So
I hate it. In my opinion, man, I feel like Brock has done so much to start. I don't want to bore the listeners because they probably don't give a fuck about the Niners. But
we're Niner fans, though, so
we're Niner fans. It's a part of our identity. But, some of you guys probably might like the Raiders or some shit. And
people like sports.
Some of you guys might like the Raiders, and I know you beat your wife, but like it's not.
That is crazy.
Dallas Cowboy fans are the most emotional motherfuckers ever. Like, my thing is Niner fans will lose and we'll just be a little bit upset, but Dallas fans will break their own TVs. They'll burn their jerseys and shit. Raider fans just go back to beating their wife, and then it's unfortunate that you guys go that far, right?
Yeah.
I got my Niner hat on. I'm just, mourning while doing a podcast. Okay.
Yes, it was regular.
This is regular over here.
And also check on your Niner fans, man. Like, yes, their friends and families. Check on them, tonight. Just give them a text to see if they sober or not. Stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, you hit him up and he FaceTime you and he got a beer in his hand. Shit's tough over there.
It's rough. I think from talking to Niner fans today, most of us we were like, what could we do? Kind of situation. It wasn't like we lost with Jimmy Garoppolo throwing an interception. It was like we just we didn't have a quarterback at the end of the game. So
yeah, we lost because we didn't have a fucking quarterback at all. But with Jimmy, man, you just knew what to expect. You knew he was gonna self-destruct. The dumbest thing we could do as a franchise is bring all three back. We got to have Purdy.
Jimmy got to go.
Jimmy needs to go, and Purdy is so good that Jimmy has been eliminated. Like, that's how good he is.
Yeah, they took him out.
That he got to go. Please send him somewhere else. If somebody else is dumb enough to start Jimmy Garoppolo, more power to him.
Yeah.
Okay? But you cannot come back here, sir.
Yeah.
You cannot come back
He's
here.
getting a lot of money, too.
Oh, you're getting too much money. Too much money to be that mediocre. See, Brock Purdy proved how sorry Jimmy was just by how good he played. Just by Purdy showing up every week proved how sorry Jimmy was.
Yeah.
So, Jimmy, you got to get the fuck on.
Purdy is a rookie, bro.
I know he's a rookie.
He's only going to get better.
I really hope that, I don't know what somebody is willing to give up for Trey if we could do something. But I'm literally so sold on Brock Purdy that I'd rather
you can't get rid of Trey.
You can't get rid of him.
There's too many injured quarterbacks. Everybody getting injured.
But I don't think Trey trying to be a backup. So
he don't got no choice. But you stand on this team. He's young. He's young.
Yeah.
I think, he probably wants to start eventually. I'm sure he does. But
yeah,
there's some young guys.
Yeah,
I think. What was I gonna say? Oh, there was a video I seen of Nick Saban. Nick Saban had. I think they were scouting Brock Purdy when he was in high school or something like that.
Oh, he said too short, too little, arm too
short,
weak.
Your arm is weak, the whole nine.
Yeah, he said he's too small, your arm is too weak, and all of that.
Yeah.
And it's just this crazy. That's why I wanted Purdy to win so bad, because he's the guy that we pull for, man.
Yeah,
he's
the underdog.
It's not just the underdog. He's the underdog because we're so shallow. Like, we're so shallow as human beings that he's not this tall 6'5" quarterback that's super fast with a huge arm, but he gets the job done.
But that's true. But this is what he's doing in the NFL is like so far removed. Like, I'll say it like this: like, the reason he didn't get drafted was not all because of the measurables. So a lot of it was because some people were saying like he may get a little bit rattled if they blitz him, and so the certain things that were like not his physical traits. You know what I mean? But that's part of it too. A lot of it was like the arm strength and the height and stuff like that. But yeah.
The truth about it too is sometimes certain schemes can coach you into limitations. So a lot of times, if you're not scheming up a player to his strengths, how the fuck can he even look better? And then he went to the NFL and got better.
Yeah, he did get better.
So you went to the league and people say, you went last because of this, that, and the third, and they make that legit. But a lot of times the schemes and the way coaches coach you up, that could definitely make you look different. I've seen players who didn't see this, that wouldn't see the light of day, and they get a whole new coaching staff and turn this motherfucker into a whole new player.
Yeah.
I've seen that happen quite some time. You got to coach the player's strengths. You might have a guy that's on the I'm not going to keep going on, but you might have a guy that's on the bench and, he really can't shoot very good. He's not, he doesn't dribble act great, but this motherfucker could rebound like a motherfucker. But you got him on the bench. Yeah. And you put him at the 5 and you start him and he getting you 26 rebounds, 31 rebounds.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He might have 5 points, 6 points, 3 points, but he got 38 rebounds. Why is he on the bench?
I think above all, what we realize is it's a guessing game.
Yeah.
When you drafting a Trey Lance, you don't know. You don't know if it's going to pan out. This is a Division I. He's a football championship series quarterback. You know what I mean? Like, you don't know if these guys are going to be that good. Patrick Mahomes was like the number 15th pick or something like that.
Something like that out of Texas Tech.
Yeah, like if they could do it all over again, they would obviously draft him number 1. But you just don't know.
Yeah, you never know. You never know. Switching gears. Unfortunate story. Memphis police killing Tyree Nichols. That is a absolute terrible story. and I will get into that. I think a lot of people by now know about this story. Video shows police kicking, pepper spraying, beating Tyree Nichols after traffic stop. Officers tased, pepper sprayed, and brutally beat 29-year-old Tyree Nichols during a January 7th traffic stop, according to footage released by City of Memphis Friday. The footage in which from a Sky Cop camera and the officer's body cameras is split into 4 videos. Police can be heard yelling at Nichols to get out of the car and forcibly removing him from the car. The video has been described by law enforcement and attorney Nichols' family as absolutely appalling, alarming, and unconscionable. The video also shows officers kicking Nichols at least twice in the face, striking him at least 3 or 4 times with a baton in the upper body area, punching him at least 4 times in the face, punching him in at least 2 times, more times in the upper body area, and kicking him at least twice in the abdomen. Tyree Nichols' death. Hold on. The first video is from an officer's body camera and lasts about 11 minutes. It shows officers pulling Nichols out of the car at Rains and Ross Roads as he yells, "I didn't do anything. Get on the fucking ground." An officer yells, "I'm gonna tase your ass." On the ground, Nichols yells. An officer also gonna be heard saying words break your shit. What? You guys are really doing a lot now. Nichols says, I'm just trying to go home.
Dang.
Okay, look here. This is why this is important for us to bring this up. Not only as podcasters and people who create content, but as 2 black men, I think we need to talk about this. I think that what's going on is a lot of, and I got to call my people out that look like me. There are 6 black officers involved in this. There's not one white officer, right? What's happening now is we're being forced to deal with the question or the situation of policing. I think that when the narrative is white officers beating on an unarmed black man, everyone is real quick, right? Everyone's real quick to the punch, you know. But what I've done once I seen this story is I went to all of the black talking heads that usually have something to say about police brutality. I went to Angela Rye's page, didn't see nothing. I went to Jamel Hill's page, didn't see nothing. I went to Charlamagne Guy's page, I didn't see nothing. I went to Van Lathan's page, I didn't see nothing. I went to all these people's pages, I didn't see anything. Okay? And then when I did see people talking about it, they didn't give it the same energy as if it was a white officer beating on black people, right? My issue is policing as a whole. Do I think there was some type of racial undertones or racial issues when it came to some of these white officers beating black people? That's definitely a factor. Not always. Sometimes you could be a dick or racist, or you could be both of them. And you also have authority to do almost whatever you want with people, which you really shouldn't have the authority to do that. But that's what happens. What we just seen right now is 6 black men that happen to be police officers abusing their authority.
Yeah.
Like literally that is what happened. I'm here to say, I don't care what they were, white, black, or whatever. This is not even, honestly, I don't even think this is a policing issue. I don't. I think this is a people issue, and here's why. It doesn't matter what the fuck they train you to do at that job. Your conditioning happens before you even put that uniform on. If you're 28 years old, you got 28 years of conditioning outside of that police job. Whatever you do is going to influence how you do your job. If you're liberal, that's going to affect your job in some way. If you're conservative, that's going to affect your job some way. Should it? No, it shouldn't, but it does. If you don't like black people and you become a cop, you think that's going to stop? No. If you're a person that does not do well with having authority over people and you become a cop, do you think all of a sudden, hey, I got all this power now I'm going to be calm? That's not how it works. These motherfuckers get put under a bunch of tests. All you got to do is know how to lie. All you got to do is know how to lie. And when you become a police officer and you get out there, you could just abuse your power and you're going to skate away free. I seen somebody say, yo, it's kind of obvious that, you know, these black officers all get charged with murder, but what about the other officers that got paid administrative leave? Why is that even a legitimate thing to say? I think we've got a big enough sample size of officers that got away scot-free, but that shit ain't happening no more. It's white officers getting arrested too. It's a lot of officers getting arrested for wrongdoing to innocent people.
They getting thrown in prison.
They're getting thrown in prison now. But if you there's enough sample size now is what I'm saying for that to be taking place. So these officers that happen to be black, they are now a part of this new outlook on policing when it comes to committing a motherfucking crime. Because you go back to Rodney King, all those officers that beat Rodney King's ass, they all got acquitted. They had no business being acquitted.
Yeah,
that was one of the big.
Like
that was one of the biggest travesties in judicial history. All those officers were asked, was he a threat right here in this position? No, he wasn't. Was he a threat right here in this position? No, he wasn't. Did you strike him with a baton? Yes. And they all let him go. That was literal racism at its finest. That judge was a racist piece of shit. And she knew what the fuck she was doing. And then there was another case where there was an Asian woman that shot a black girl in her store. You seen that one?
Yeah. Dang, I just. Yeah.
They let her off scot-free.
The girl, she had the money in her hand and she put the orange juice in her bag. A Korean woman.
Yeah, then she just shot her, and she let her off scot-free. Yeah. So you got to realize that there was a lot of.
Let me look the name up while you talk.
Okay, yeah, especially in the 90s, man, the policing was absolutely terrible. It was terrible because police knew they could do whatever they wanted, and there was no phones, there was no cameras on them. But there's a lot of officers getting busted. Right. But two things are very true. I think that sometimes people get stopped by the police and make that shit more difficult than what it is. Like if a cop pull you over and let's say you was going a little bit over the speed limit, don't be like, man, why the fuck you put me over for it, man? This is bullshit. It's like, nigga, you was going 70 and a 40.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's also true that we have to be cognizant of where we can go wrong as civilians when the cops pull us over. Yeah. But it does not give a cop the right to get aggressive with you and say, get out the fucking car, motherfucker, and put your hands on your back. And it's like, bro, you guys you don't know how to deal with conflict resolution. You just rather pull me out the car and intimidate me and beat me as a way of you feeling safe. And that's not good.
Yeah. It was Latasha Harlins.
Latasha Harlins
is the young black girl that died.
Yeah, man, she's terrible.
Yeah, but it's I think that to me, I would lean more towards a systematic thing. It is a people thing, but I think that character flaw without authority is just like it's dormant. Right. There's a racist person sitting in freaking Oildale right now that don't got no authority or capacity to really make something happen, right? But that same person with a badge on, or that same person with some authority in the judicial system can really like hurt people, cause damage to a certain culture. So but I think that like it's the thing that at least that I try to articulate, I never looked at it. I think there is an element of racism, but I think that we've, as black people, have known that it was always a blue thing and not necessarily like a white supremacy thing. Because even, I was telling Eddie this earlier, I just watched Boys in the Hood the other day. Even in Boys in the Hood, like, and obviously when you're creating a film, like every element in the movie is very specific. The cop that pulls Trey over is a black cop, and he's being, he's like being disrespectful. You a gang member, you from Crenshaw Mafia, you from Rolling 60s.
You one of them Rolling 60s niggas, huh?
Yeah. And just like violating him, you know what I mean? But that's a black cop. It's not like a white cop doing that. So, that ever since the 90s, I think that, and even with NWA, it's F the police. It's not F white police. It's just F the police in general. So it's just, I think that there needs to be, I don't know what the solution is. I'm not going to act like I know what will, make a big difference in the way that the police operate. But whatever is going on, it just doesn't work. These in what capacity, like outside of doing your job, like from human to human, like in what capacity do we think it's okay to like like jump somebody, that's like real gang stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's stuff that would happen at Bill Park out here in Bakersfield, where some kids is like from a certain section and another kid from a certain section just five kids jump on a kid and then run home or something like that. That's not something that you would think with the way that the definition of what the police are supposed to do, protect and serve. That's just not. I don't think that's anywhere in a bylaws to like jump a person that's unarmed and running away from you in that capacity. No. I just don't get it.
You want the God's honest truth? This sounds very pessimistic. There is no resolution to policing. None. Here's why. You know that when you go to a restaurant, right? And let's say you go to Starbucks or something, or let's say you go to a burger restaurant, whatever, and you go and you order something and the cashier's being really rude to you, right? Just being disrespectful for no reason. And then you kind of return the energy like, hey, man, why are you doing this? And they're like, well, you're going to get it or not. Imagine that individual, but with a fucking badge on. No different. It is the same difference. There are going to be vile, stupid, ignorant, angry people at every police station, and there's nothing you could do about it. You cannot vet people. People are going to infiltrate every single job. There is no resolution to policing. There is going to be more shootings. There's going to be more deaths. There's going to be more people getting their ass whooped. There's going to be more cops killing people. That's just the reality. That's the way of the world. There is no resolution. We could sit here and make 8 million trillion documentaries. They're all going to be the same thing to the end of time, because as long as there are people in this world that will take on an occupation that they are not mature enough for, people will be hurt as a result of it. There are truck drivers who have CDLs that are reckless and are going to kill people. There are cooks that work in restaurants that are going to undercook something and give somebody food poisoning or diabetic shock. There are nurses with fake fucking credentials that are going to kill somebody with malpractice. There is no resolution to human behavior, and that is the final answer. That is what we're up against. Now, the pessimistic is like, if we all stick together, someday we could come together and we could stop. But truth be told, never will happen. That is just the reality of the world. That's just my take.
I got it. I mean, I would never, I can't even like fathom that. Like I would never articulate that. I would never say that out loud just because I just don't want to believe that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I just, it's just, I think, what, Tyree Nichols, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just, I feel so sad for him. I feel so bad for him just to, like, it's crazy how all these situations are generally just routine traffic stops.
Yeah.
And it ends up you being abused in that way. It's so sad. And it's so shocking to see, because, normally you'll see. Do you hear that?
Yeah, what is that? Is that rain? Is that my mic? Is that rain?
I don't know what that is. It sounds like.
You hear that? My mic's not going out, is it?
It's like a.
Mic check. I'm still good. I'm still in here.
No, it's but it's just like a kind of like what sounds like.
Is that your beard doing that?
No, my beard's not making noises. You hear my beard growing? Man, these mics is good.
Yeah, I was like, dang.
But yeah, I think with that situation, the thing, me just skimming through social media and seeing 5 black cops, and then this
6,
this young.
I
seen 5.
It's 5.
But yeah, and then seeing, Tyree Nichols on there, it's just like, it was so shocking. Like, what? Like, this is, it would, and not to normalize it happening, from white to black or something like that, but it was just so shocking to see, like, that 5 black men.
But here, it shouldn't be shocking though, right? Because the issue's supposed to be policing, right? So if the issue's supposed to be policing, then it should have never been a shock that if it's white or black. If that's how we're looking, especially people who are very pro-police that say, hey, it's not a black or white thing. It's never been a black or white thing, right? But when we see a large sample size of black unarmed people being shot by white police officers, and we see this shit enough, we're like, hey, what the fuck? And then now you see all black men that are beating an unarmed black man. And it really forces people to look at this narrative and say, oh, this is a real narrative too. My only issue is, because I'm just speaking out loud on the podcast, I did not see enough energy from the talking heads that normally speak on these issues. I didn't see the same energy from Van Lathan. I didn't see the same energy from Charlemagne. I didn't see the same energy from Angela Rye. I didn't see the same energy from Jamel Hill. I didn't see the same energy from Trader Truth. Trader Truth just posted something. And the reason why I said this is I made sure I did my homework and looked at them, because when it's an officer, when it's Botham Jean, and Botham Jean sitting on his couch eating ice cream and a white female officer busts in the room and kills him, everybody's talking about that, as they should. But now 5 officers kill an unarmed black man, and I'm not seeing the same energy here. Mm-hmm. I'm not seeing it.
Yeah.
So it's like, if the issue is policing, let's let it be that.
I think the thing for me, and that's why I never want to get caught up in always being at the forefront of like these civil rights issues.
Thank you. Me neither.
Just because you can't win, because even when J. Cole and No Name, they had that back and forth situation. They were getting on J. Cole because stuff was happening and he wasn't saying nothing. Or Kendrick Lamar, like, where you at, Kendrick? We need a new song from you about whatever's going on in the world. But it's just like, when you get caught up in that world, like you always people are going to expect you to always say something, or expect you just to keep the same energy. I mean, I never knew her prior to that thing with J. Cole, so it's just like when beef dies out, it does.
She was like really attacking him, like you ain't never got nothing to say about LGBT, or you ain't got nothing to say about this, and it's like, man, how can you tell me what to talk about?
Yeah, that's
like,
wild.
If like that's somebody get on this podcast talking about why do you not talk about civil rights, and why don't you talk about this and that? And it's like, if that's what you feel empowered to do, you can get 2 microphones or 1 and some acoustic panels, and you could talk about it. You could talk about it yourself on your own platform, but you can't tell people what they should fucking rap or talk about. That is ridiculous.
Yeah, that bothers me, like across the board. Like I never understood when people they'll be like, man, like Warren Buffett ain't did nothing with his money. He got all this money. LeBron James ain't did nothing with his money. This dude is a billionaire. He ain't donating to blah, blah, blah. And that be the same person that, they use all their extra money to go buy a hamburger from McDonald's instead of donating it to an organization that can help kids. So, but because what happens is, there is, like Martin Luther King, for instance, I don't know what his financial state looked like, but I would imagine he was going to be a civil rights leader, whether he was a millionaire or whether he had a minimum wage job. Yeah. And he didn't, I don't imagine, he probably wanted to put on certain events that required money and stuff like that, but he didn't let not having finances or whatever affect him or stop him from really affecting change in the world. But it's those same people that be sitting on Twitter with the Twitter thumbs like, why ain't such and such donating this amount of money?
I don't take people seriously when they have repetitive Twitter feeds of these really like they're like social rights activists, like they're like civil rights activists, social media activist people. Like, all you need to do is reallocate these funds here and go here. How about you shut the fuck up, motherfucker? How about you shut up?
Yeah.
How about you get off your phone and find a way to actively do something, and then I'll actually care. Yeah. Like, if all you do is on there, like, it's imagine somebody is just, all they do is consume content, and they're crucial of everything they consume, and you don't create no content. Like, if you don't create any content yourself, how can you be so critical of everyone else's content? Yeah. Like, what do you create? Your content is based off of what you don't like from somebody else.
That's crazy. Ain't that crazy?
Yeah, it's like, nigga, what the fuck?
You just a critic. That's like the movie critic or the Rotten Tomato guy.
It's like,
that's just going and saying every movie is bad, but ain't never created no movie.
This is my question. This is what my question would be. What metric have you determined that's good or bad? Like, what type of scales do you use to determine what's bad or good or entertaining or not entertaining, or what I should speak about? Like, what have you seen in my life that makes you feel that Eddie and Keith should be talking more about civil rights, and Eddie is a coon and he's not speaking about this or that? I'll be like, hey, you know what? Yeah, cool. I'll be your coon. Cool. You could feel however you want about me, but let me see your content so I could go and look and see what you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like it's wild. I had some dude approach me one day. He said, "Man, you and your co-host, man, you should talk more about like the African American community and civil rights and this." And I'm thinking like, nigga, I ain't talking about that.
Nigga, I am African American.
Yeah,
I am the African American community.
Yeah,
so anything I talk about is about the African American community.
I've been a black man all my life, and not to mention we don't base this podcast around anything specific.
Yeah.
Like it's not based in black culture issues. Like we talk about these things, but we don't base it in liberalism or conservative. We don't base it in none of that.
But the people that don't realize like the black. Speaking about like the black experience is just two people that are black speaking. Like that's what it is. This our point of view as being black people is the black experience.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it doesn't require us always talking about something negative about civil rights and stuff like that.
Right. And the thing too is people be like, why does it matter that you're black? Like you can't just have a conversation. Well, unfortunately, we all may live in America, and I guess we are American. However, we're not the same, brother, because since America's infancy, we didn't start off the same. Unlike some of you guys that may not be black, me and Keith don't even own our names. Our names are given us by our slave masters. My name is not McGee. That's not a real African name. We have fake names, me and Keith.
Yeah.
Like these are not, if you understood the historical context behind what I just said, you would get what that means.
Yeah.
So we have a different reality. Like our reality is a lot different than yours. All the way down from that, trickling down from, once slavery was over and then the sharecropping, which really wasn't sharecropping. It was just like another form of slavery. And then, and then you got fucking Jim Crow laws. And then you got, freaking the black soldiers fighting in every war, not being able to use the GI Bill, and then redlining and segregation. Like we're not the same, sir. We've only been like regular people that without being oppressed people for like 40 years, literally. Like my father who just passed grew up segregated. You know what I'm saying? My grandpa who passed away in 2020, he lived a completely different reality than I did as a 37-year-old man. When my grandpa was 37, shit was fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Shit was fucked up.
Yeah.
So we appreciate some people that might say like, race doesn't matter to me. I don't see color. Well, you keep on not seeing color, okay? I think you might be a good person, but you should start seeing color. And what I mean by that is you should start taking interest in other people's cultures and actually digging into their culture to understand why they have the outlook that they have.
Yeah.
Instead of just trying to say, well, you're American like everyone else. How about you do your due diligence and looking in that person's background before you just keep doing that?
Yeah. And I don't know if anybody has ever been excited to be colorblind.
Right.
Yeah. I know two people that are colorblind, and they just be like, can somebody tell me what color this is? This is not a fun. It's not fun.
I'll be so mad. I'll be like, man, y'all done put cheese on my taco again, man. I done where's the cheese, man? Damn.
Yeah. It's interesting too, like playing sports with people that are colorblind. It's like it's
red 47, red 47.
Nigga, like, not the verbal words. They can hear red.
I know.
They not color deaf.
Imagine if you was color deaf. It'd be like, what? 47. 47. You got red or blue. What is it, man?
Color deaf.
Like, don't line up in the slot, motherfucker. Get over here.
Oh, that's hilarious. But no, like, if, some people can't see like blues or reds, so like we'll be playing like Centennial or something, and they'd be like, hey, what number is that? Because it'd be like, hey, guard number such and such, or like, if this number blitzes, whatever the case may be, or if you're on offense, it's like, you got to call out the mic by number, just different things like that, and they just be like confused.
Imagine if he was a colorblind gangster and you was a Crip and you went into an all blood neighborhood. Like, what's up, blood? What you doing over here, nigga? You disrespect the nigga. Like, hey man, it's not like that. It's like, oh, this nigga just
Being colorblind is not an excuse.
Nah, you pulling
pack
up,
you out.
That'd be crazy. Imagine you. Oh no, here you go. Imagine you a Crip, but you colorblind, and then you walk around with a pink rag in your back pocket. Like, man, this nigga gay, man. Hey, what's going on, man?
That's crazy.
I'm telling you, in the future, it's gonna be some gay gangs, bro.
Yeah, I'm sure some out there already.
I'm telling you, bro, it's gonna be some gay gangs, bro. I know some gay dudes that can fight, bro.
Got hands, huh?
They got hands, bro.
Yeah.
One dude I know of beat the hell out of somebody. Some gay dude, he's like, I'm gonna tell you right now, nigga, I'll beat your ass. And he's like, nigga, you won't do shit. He was breathing while he's beating his ass, like,
He was really saying ass.
I'll beat your ass, nigga, and I'll eat your ass.
That's crazy.
Oh, that'd be terrible.
That is wild.
You get beat up, you get knocked out, and you got a gay dude eating your booty when you wake up. He be like, man, this nigga crazy, man.
That nigga beat my ass, but that kind of felt good.
It was like a beautiful disaster.
That was a beautiful disaster.
Oh man. Let's go ahead and wrap this thing up. We got one real quick. We're gonna do this last one and get the fuck out of here. All right, switching gears. Let's close this thing out. It was a conspiracy theory recently regarding Damar Hamlin. Damar Hamlin, we all know from the Buffalo Bills, who collapsed on the field of cardiac arrest, and he was, they hooked him up to they resuscitated him basically, gave him oxygen, got him to the hospital and whatnot, and now he is recovered. But there was a conspiracy because he came to the game, he had a mask on his face, and people saying like, "Oh, that's a body double. That's not really him." And then it made it to mainstream media. We're not talking about TMZ or any of these under like journal like these under journalists or these
Like
people.
big corporations.
Yeah, these are big corporations, and they actually chimed in. They had to fact check it. It says, fact check. Baseless conspiracy theory spreads about Buffalo Bills player Damar Hamlin. The claim Damar Hamlin is dead. On January 23rd, Facebook post, direct link archived president's conspiracy theory about Buffalo Bills player Damar Hamlin that has circulated widely in recent days. Damar Hamlin is dead, folks, reads the post. The guy yesterday was just a stage that can't afford for this to come out because he died on national TV. Not been funny, but he dropped dead like a fly, basically. This is so stupid. The post accumulated over 70 shares in less than a week. Similar claims have spread widely on Facebook, Twitter, and elsewhere, particularly among conspiracy theorists such as QAnon backers and far-right radio host Stu Peters. Okay, look here, man. Let me be clear when I say this. This is just a symptom of when the internet goes wrong. And when somebody says something and people on the internet can't think for themselves, so they agree with it. People just will say things, and some people say like, I can't believe y'all really believing that this man is still alive. And it's like, nigga, he is alive,
As a
motherfucker.
matter of fact, like they genuinely believe that. Like this
like,
thing is,
bro.
yeah.
Bro, and then they literally asked Josh Allen, who is the quarterback for the Buffalo Bills. They said, and the interviewer asked him, he said, hey, man, for some reason it's been getting around here, like literally, they're saying that that's not Damar Hamlin. They're saying that it's a body double. And then Josh Allen was like, huh? He's like he literally was with us in the locker room before the game.
Yeah.
Like the people are stupid. Are you serious? Like people really feel this? Like they said this? He said, yes, they're saying that that's not Damar Hamlin. That's what people are saying.
Yeah.
He's like, God, people are idiots. That's just so stupid.
Yeah.
And then finally, Damar Hamlin did an interview, or not an interview, but he did like a video on YouTube, saying what he was thankful for, and then people came off of it. But it's just sick. It's sick how the internet can infect the minds of people who not only don't do research, but they literally, what does Charlemagne say? If it bleeds, it leads.
Oh, I never heard that one.
Yeah, so he said that. So like it's basically if it's something people feel is valuable, even though it's bullshit, they're totally gonna buy into it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that I don't know. It's just this is what's that movie? Idiocracy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just kind of like when you hear these type of things trending or these things going around, it just reminds me more and more of like how on point that movie is, right? And I just think, but one of the things that I realized is like, even talking to like, I was talking to one of my friends one day, and he's like he will go down a conspiracy theory wormhole, and he was just telling me like all these things, like, dude, like you haven't heard about it? Like they just said on the news, like all these politicians are like having like these little boy childs in the back of their houses,
Yeah,
and
it's like, come
and it's
on.
just it's trending, and no one's talking about it. I'm like, in my head, I'm just like, dog, like one, I don't care about this. And two,
Right.
it probably, that's just like these conspiracy theories that be trending on Twitter and Reddit
Right.
and all these threads and stuff like that. That has no real,
No
like,
merit.
yeah, there's no merit to it. It may or may not be true, but there's no factual evidence that supports, all these things that people are saying. So, but that's just like the world we live in. Like people are genuinely consuming this information, and they treat it as facts, and it's kind of sad because it's like the way people live their lives.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I'm sure, like like my friend, he's spreading this information to people, and people
Spreading
that are
bullshit, man.
Yeah, and people that are naive enough to listen to him or believe him, they just going around and spreading it to more people.
But here's the worst part. It don't stop at them saying like, I can't believe you didn't know this. Yeah, they've been literally having sex slaves in their basements for like the last 10 years, and no one talks about it, and it's sick. And here's some links right here. And it's all like really biased links.
Mm-hmm.
It's all like some extremely right-wing Alex Jones shit.
The website
The
look
far
trash with a bunch of ads popping up.
It's like, man, if you don't send me this bullshit and infect my fucking phone,
Yeah.
I don't want to see this shit.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's like the far left outlets be wild though. The far right outlets that's like conspiratorial, they'll be like the lizard people living underneath the Obama's house, and then you'd be like, what the fuck is this? On the left, it'll be like, why more people should be gay. You'd be like, nigga, what the fuck is going on here?
The world would be a much better place if everybody was gay.
You'd be like, what's going
This
on?
is crazy. I think usually you see too, like the attacks on certain people's family.
Right.
Like Joe Biden's son got nothing to do with Joe Biden.
Nah.
But somehow he keeps getting pulled into the fold, his drug problems and all these other things. And I'm just like, damn, leave that man's son alone. He ain't
That
got,
nigga's
ain't
a
got nothing
wild
to do
boy.
with politics.
Though. He's a wild fucking boy
Yeah,
though.
he be on some good drugs.
He'd be
too.
like, that's right. Yeah, my dad's president. I smoke crack. I don't care. He'd be like, damn.
It was somebody had a I forget where it was. Somebody had a daughter though, a white person. I don't know if that was a politician or actor or something. But they had a daughter that was like at a HBCU twerking. I was like, what?
Wow.
I wish I remember who it was, but it was just because it was like there is like the Chet Hanks of the world.
Chet is cool, bro.
Where it's like, ain't no way Tom Hanks is your dad. Like,
Yeah, right.
that don't make sense. It's a couple of those like white kids out here that like move like that.
Chet is fucking hilarious, man.
Yeah.
Chet is. I would literally like to talk to him because he's actually really smart.
Really?
Yeah, he's a really sharp guy.
I haven't heard.
Yeah, I've seen him in some
talk
interviews
much.
though. Chet is really sharp, man. He's really sharp. He seemed like the type of dude that like you'll be out and about somewhere and you'll just run into him. And I'll be like, hey Chet, dude, I like what you got going on, man. We should talk sometime. Be like, yeah, it's cool, man. Let's do it. He seemed like the type
on the podcast.
Yeah, and he's like a really good conversation too.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he's not like some big time actor or something.
Yeah, he was in Atlanta this the last season of Atlanta.
Oh, I didn't see it. I still haven't I love that show. I haven't had the capacity to just sit down and get back into shows. I missed
You gotta
it.
knock it out, man.
Yeah, I do.
Just 30-minute episodes.
How many seasons did I miss? I missed one or two.
It's two more. It's the last two you probably missed.
Yeah, I gotta watch those. Great show. My two favorite shows were Atlanta and The Chi.
The Shy.
Yeah, The Chi. I miss it with what's his name, Jason
Mitchell.
Jason Mitchell was
Yeah.
really good on there, and then he sexually harassed somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Is he on anything now?
Probably Tubi.
Those are some of the worst fucking movies ever, man.
Tubi is really sponsoring the NFL too.
I seen that.
I'm like, how are you having terrible movies, but you sponsoring the NFL?
It doesn't stop there, Keith. Not only is Tubi sponsoring NFL, so is Little Caesars.
Yeah.
Little Caesars got to be the most ghetto pizza. Little Caesars is the pizza you eat when your life is in shambles.
Yeah.
You just got a divorce and you paying alimony and you paying child support and you just lost your job and your car won't start.
Yeah.
Get Little Caesars.
Yeah.
That Little Caesars pizza tastes like a bunch of chopped up EBT cards.
That's hilarious. I eat Little Caesars every now and then. I'm not gonna act like I'm above it.
Man, I'm above that.
It's not the best.
I worked too hard in my life to come home to Little Caesars. Fuck that shit.
There's some people that have I know one of my friends, my old college roommate. He stopped. Like he would never eat Top Ramen because he's like, man, I grew up eating that.
Me too.
I'm above that. I'm not eating that no more. So
I'm gonna tell you like this, dog. If me and Little Caesars was in a relationship, I would cheat with Pizza Hut.
That's valid.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody would be mad at you.
I like, you know what? You don't treat me the way you should be treating me.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't feel like I'm getting from you what I should be getting.
Yeah.
So, I did cheat. Okay.
You don't keep it cheesy enough.
You're not cheesy enough with me no more. Okay. Your breadsticks are too dry, and I need more from this relationship. Your garlic bread knots are not doing it for me anymore.
It's not giving.
It's giving. It's giving. Oh, your crazy bread is not crazy enough for me. Okay, I can't do this anymore.
This is a toxic relationship.
Yeah, this is super
Your crazy
toxic.
bread not crazy enough.
Yeah. Yo, I told you I seen that comment. You know how there's like a social media team that responds when you write a comment on their like page?
Yeah.
I seen like this Little Caesars ad pop up and it had like some deal. And some dude was like, man, the food I just had was terrible. Y'all crazy bread wasn't even that crazy.
Yeah, I remember that. That was funny.
Yeah, I was like, oh man, bro. If I was on that social media team responding, nigga, I would be dying.
Yeah. You know what would be fire to like if I had some big corporation or something like that, like hiring a real comedian to like just write funny stuff. Like the guys that they just always seem to come up with like great comments under certain things. Like I think that would be fire. Like to have your account always
hire me.
Yeah,
I get the job done. Our crazy bread is crazier than your ex-wife. Only $7.99.
That's funny.
Yeah, our pizza is cheesier than your boss's jokes. Only $7.99 for this. Yeah, buddy. All right,
funny.
where we at, man? I know we gave the people some time this week.
Until 7.
We gave y'all some
from last week.
Yeah, we came back, man. We only had like 29 minutes. It was some golden 29 minutes though. That was some of the most golden 29 minutes you gonna get out of podcast right there.
That might be it might be a space for that, like the quick hitters. Obviously, we can't do it now. We're just very busy, but it might be some space for that, like little quick 15-minute podcast where it's just like single subject. We just get in and get out.
Yeah, get in, get out. But I just think like it just people hate it. They love it and hate it because it's just like such a teaser.
Yeah.
And I know people like listen to podcasts and commute, like when they're commuting.
Yeah, but would you want somebody wanting more or get exhausted? Like it's like, would you want a song too long or too short?
I don't know. That's a good one.
Because I think from obviously podcasts are his own thing, but like if I heard a 2-minute song and it's like fire throughout, I'd be like, I just double back. I'll listen to it again.
I was busting up the Magic Think Tank podcast. Shout out to Kamal.
Yeah, shout out to Kamal, man.
Yeah, I forgot.
They've been trying to plan like a podcast event thing where a bunch of like he has like a group that he created. Like a bunch of us would just pull up and go to like a podcast.
His co-host Frank, I believe. Frank.
Yeah, Frank. Uh-huh.
Yeah, shout out to Frank and Kamal, man. But that I guess Frank has said like, yo, I seen y'all had like a podcast that's over 3 hours, and It was over 3 hours, and I got tight.
Oh, was it Frank or was it Byron?
No, I think it was Frank.
Oh, it was Frank. Okay.
Yeah, because Byron, that was a minute ago that they did they pod together. But yeah, man, that's how we get down. Sometimes the longest podcast we ever had was it was over 3 hours.
Yeah.
Well, we had one with DJ that was over 3 hours, and then we had another one that was long as fuck too.
We'll be chopping it.
They be doing it, man.
Yeah.
This is how you do it. I've heard some episodes with Joe, the longest one I ever listened to, and it took me a little over a day, but it was I think it was over 4 hours, but it was really entertaining.
Yeah, sometimes you got to dedicate your life to a podcast.
Man, on everything. And like with me, I'll listen to a podcast and I'll just get deep into it because I'm a driver, so I'm just be like, and then by the time it's over, I'm like, oh man, that's it. And you look down and you be like, man, that shit was 3 hours and 45 minutes.
Yeah, that's the best. Like the kind of mindless stuff that we can do, like, you know, on the road or for me, it might be, it's kind of hard to do like film stuff while you listening to a podcast. But if you like editing pictures or something like that, you could definitely, listen to a podcast while you're doing that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? We got to get out of here, man. We apologize from last week, man, but you know, we feel like we redeemed ourselves this time. If you made it to the end of this podcast, we appreciate you. Thank you for listening to a Trucker's Mind podcast. I'm Eddie McGee.
It's your boy K Fings.
We're out of here, man.
Peace.